Welcome. So, have you ever stopped to think about where artificial intelligence really comes from? We're going to explore a connection today that you might not expect at all, the incredibly deep foundational link between AI and the study of the human mind. Turns out, if you want to build a machine that thinks, you kind of have to figure out how we think first.
So let's just jump right in with the big question that really gets to the heart of all this. What if the smartest, most advanced AI isn't some strange alien intelligence, but is actually just a really, really good copy of the blueprint inside your own head? To get this, we have to go back, way back. See, AI and modern psychology aren't just related fields that, borrow ideas from each other now and then. No, they were born from the exact same intellectual movement. They're practically twins. Check this out. You've got these two stories unfolding at the exact same time. So in the mid-20th century, you have the cognitive revolution, where psychologists finally started looking inside the black box of the mind. And right around then, in 1956, you have these pioneers at the Dartmouth conference asking, hey, can we build a machine that does that exact same thing? They were basically chasing the same ghost in the machine, just from opposite directions. And because they started together, the approach was, well, it was wild. The early AI pioneers didn't just get a little bit of inspiration from psychology. They used it as a direct architectural blueprint. They were literally trying to copy our cognitive code line by line.
And you can see that direct translation right here. Our idea of human learning, that becomes machine learning. The way our brain's neurons wire up to create memories, well, that directly inspired neural networks. How we make decisions is modeled with algorithms. And psychological conditioning, learning from rewards and punishments, that's the absolute foundation of reinforcement learning in AI. It's a one-to-one map.
So if you take just one thing away from this whole explainer, let it be this. AI, in so many ways, is simply applied psychology. It's just supercharged with the raw, incredible processing power of modern computers. Okay, so this whole idea basically split the AI world into two main camps. On one side, you've got pure AI. Its only goal is to get the job done as efficiently as possible. Think of a chess program that calculates millions of moves. It couldn't care less if it thinks like a person. But then, on the other side, you have cognitive modeling, and its goal is to simulate the human mind, warts and all. It wants to build an AI that not only succeeds like we do, but also fails like we do, because that's how we can really learn about ourselves. All right, so that's the theory, that's the history. But how does this actually show up in the tech we use every single day? This isn't just academic stuff. It is, quite literally, psychology living in your pocket. Just think about your phone for a second. When your voice assistant actually remembers what you said 2 sentences ago, that's straight out of cognitive psychology. That little buzz from a notification that makes you pick up your phone? Pure behavioral psychology, using reward loops to keep you hooked. When Netflix suggests a show because people also watched it. Yep. That's social psychology, modeling how groups behave. And all those creepily accurate personalized ads, that's personality psychology, trying to build a profile of you.
So, we've built these incredible machines in our own image. But here's the twist. Here's the really critical part of the whole story. Now that we've built this mirror, how is it changing the person looking into it? How is AI starting to rebuild us? This quote just nails it, doesn't it? Every single time we offload a task to our devices, whether it's remembering a birthday, a phone number, or just how to get across town, we are potentially rewiring the neural pathways in our own brains. We are outsourcing our own cognition. And the impacts of this are becoming pretty clear. Researchers have pointed to a few big ones. There's aspirational narrowing, where your personalized feed only shows you stuff you already like, which can stunt your growth. Our attention is being fragmented into tiny pieces by endless notifications. Our critical thinking can start to erode inside filter bubbles that just confirm everything we already believe. And like we said, we're offloading our memory to our devices. But it's not all doom and gloom. Something really fascinating is starting to happen in the workplace. A new kind of AI identity is emerging. Studies are showing that employees who actually embrace AI as a true partner, who trust it and collaborate with it, they become more focused, more productive. It's like they're forming a brand new symbiotic relationship with their tools. But like with any powerful relationship, there are risks, and we have to be real about them. We have to look at the darker side of this deep, deep fusion between our psychology and artificial intelligence. So, the first big risk is something called social diskilling. Think about it. AI companions are designed to be easy, agreeable, and always validating. But real human relationships, they're messy, they're complicated, they're full of friction. And if we get too used to the smooth, easy interactions with AI, we risk losing the very skills we need to navigate the difficult, but absolutely essential world of human connection.
And here's the painful paradox. These tools that were designed for connection can actually make us more isolated. Studies are now finding a direct correlation where heavy, daily use of AI companions is linked to an increase in feelings of loneliness. It suggests they might be displacing real human contact instead of just supplementing it.
And then there's the most severe risk, direct psychological harm. We've seen actual documented cases where AI has completely failed to handle crisis situations, like suicidal thoughts, or even worse, has actually validated harmful behaviors in vulnerable people, especially teens. This is where the conversation about safety and ethics becomes absolutely critical.
So, with all these risks on the table, where do we go from here? Well, the consensus from experts is pretty clear. The future isn't about replacement, it's about partnership. It's about building a future that uses the very best of both human and machine intelligence together. And this idea of complementarity is everything. AI is an absolute beast at what we're bad at, processing insane amounts of data, finding patterns we'd never see, and just relentless computation. But we humans excel at everything it can't do. Real ethical reasoning, navigating uncertainty, understanding social context, and that spark of genuine creative insight. The goal is to fuse those two skill sets. The next big leap forward here is something called cognitive AI. These are systems designed not just to spit out an answer, but to actually explain their thinking, their reasoning, in a way that we can understand and trust. Imagine a medical AI that doesn't just give a diagnosis, but walks a doctor through the data that led it there. That's how you build real teamwork. And that brings us full circle, right back to where we started, but with a new perspective. The story of AI has always been the story of us, our minds, our behaviors, our psychology. But the thing to remember is that this is a two-way street. So as we continue to design ever more intelligent machines, the real question we have to keep asking is this: in what ways are we, consciously or not, redesigning ourselves?